Testing, testing, testing. Let me check my sound. Testing, testing, testing. All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, I'm the brother Arak from GMS Dallas, and I have the brother Tasha with me.
Shalom, shalom.
And I wanted to do a quick sit down through the spirit, going through a few things that I've observed and seen through the spirit. Shalom, Cyberattacks. All right, and I want to go into a couple articles going into the Iran situation. Not necessarily overseas, you know what I mean? We see what's going on over there in the Middle East. Things appear to be rapidly escalating, all right, on a I can't even say day-to-day basis, because really it's like every 6 to 12 hours, we're getting reports upon reports that, things are escalating over there in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it is war, wars and rumors of wars.
Propaganda.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to filter these things through the scriptures. We have to filter these things through, also what the elders and apostles are seeing. Right, we're in very exciting times, and really, there's a hell of a lot of things to talk about. But I'm gonna entitle this lesson "The Self-Sabotage of America, False Flags, Cyber Attacks, Etc." All right, and I'm gonna read a little bit of these articles, and pull a few precepts. And Lord's willing, this lesson is edifying. All right, I'm gonna start here in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. All right, and we'll read a little bit of this. Because essentially, when you read the Bible, we know that America it's the revived Roman Empire, right? Pursuing the scripture, but it's also likened to the new Egypt, spiritual Sodom and Egypt, pursuant to Revelation, the 11th chapter,
11:8,
and the scriptures. And I'll start here in Ecclesiastes 1, because when you read about ancient Egypt, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, scriptures say the Lord is a man of war. He's a man of war. So when you read about the plagues of Egypt in Exodus chapter 7 through about chapter 12, the Lord basically broke down Egypt systematically through those plagues. He put hell on Egypt through those plagues. And the scriptures talk about, I want to say in 2nd Ezra 9, right, great miseries, coming upon this place. All right, so we can see the sages. You know what I mean? Because that's what makes every nation run. The economy. Most people's attitude, most people's mood, right? Most people's desires are based off of their money situation, their pockets. So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is getting ready to hit people where it hurts. And he's been, and people been, taking L's through the spirit. You know what I mean? We're all debt slaves, right? Most people are just a check to check basis, making it work. But it's getting ready to get significantly worse. I'm going to read this real quick. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9. It says, "The thing that have been, it is that be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun." All right, so we can look at the plagues of Egypt, for example, because the scriptures talk about the things aforetime are written for our learning. So we can look at the plagues of Egypt, and we can use that kind of as a blueprint to see what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is getting ready to do here to Babylon the Great. Did you think?
Well, Bible show, you got it.
Okay, Khan. That was pretty much all I had on that. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna jump to 2nd Ezra 15, and I'm gonna read a little bit of this, and then I'm gonna read some of this article.
15 and 5.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna read verse. Yeah, I'm gonna read 5.
Okay, kind of.
Yeah. This is Second Ezra 15 and verse 5. It says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction." All right, and I'm gonna get into a lot of these words too. I want to define this word plague real quick. And Bob Gashah, if you have anything, you know what I'm saying, you got it.
Come on.
I'm just gonna search this word up. This word plague, all right, on the Google. All right. Let me see. A plague is an infectious disease. I just want a regular definition, man.
Like a pestilent, a pestilent.
Here we go.
Or a sword.
Yeah,
What you got?
yeah. It says, as a noun, a contagious bacterial disease characterized by fever or delirium. It says typically with the formation of buboes, bubonic plague, and sometimes infection of the lungs. But as a verb, the definition is that it causes continued trouble or distress to it. All right. So distress. All right. So that's what Yahweh Shemel Shai has planned for really the whole planet Earth, but especially here in America. The Lord has a series of distress troubles, that's going to be layered that he's getting ready to hit these people with. I'm going to get a precept just to back that up. This is Luke 21 and 25. It says, "And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars," which we're seeing, right? We're seeing the blood moons. We're seeing planetary alignments, right? We had the solstice or whatever it was, where the sun was blocked out by the moon.
Yeah,
2 months back.
solar eclipse.
Yeah, the solar eclipse. Right, we're seeing the moon. We're seeing the full moon happen 3 days in a row.
Yep. And then the super full moon.
Yep.
Because we haven't seen the moon that big, and that's controlling things upon the earth.
Mm-hmm.
But you got it.
Yep. So I mean, the Lord is making it abundantly clear to you people that something major is getting ready to happen, and if you can't see that, that just means the Lord wants to get at you the worst.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He has blinded your mind just so you can catch that L.
Right. Yeah. This is Luke 21:25. It says, "And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring." Right. And it says with perplexity because these people have no idea what the hell is going on, and that's a part of the hell.
Yeah.
Like when we go into the meaning of Babylon, right? Babal, which means confusion, right? This place was created to perplex your ass, to confuse you.
Yeah.
Because being confused is a part of being in hell. You don't know what the fuck is going on. You don't know why you're making the mistakes you're making. You don't know why you don't feel right. You know what I mean?
And all that
Boom. Yep. Beautiful. Because more information, if you don't have the image, right? And we have the image, we have Yahweh Shah, we have the understanding of the scripture. So we know we can piece all this information together and have a clear view. These people, they just got a whole bunch of information.
Yeah, and we us piecing all this information together is provided with the light.
Yeah.
So we can see where we're going. Yep. Everybody else is just going to get caught out there.
That's it. You got a precept or anything?
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 8. My phone messing up. It says, "For wherewith thou didst punish our adversaries, by the same thou didst glorify us, whom thou hast called." Mm-hmm. All right. So through the midst of all this, stuff that's going on, shit with Iran, the Civil War over here in Babylon the Great, everything is locked together, but Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to punish our adversaries, and he's going to save the elect in these days.
Yep.
What you got it?
Yep. And your adversary, when you come into this truth, really your adversary, yeah, Esau, but like we always talk about the matrix, really anybody outside is a potential
Enemy.
demonic, agent.
Yeah.
All right. As a matter of fact, they are a demonic agent because all these people do got demons on them.
Yeah.
And that alone right there proves that this is completely spiritual. You're only gonna be able to. This is a spirit like Yahweh Shem Shai, the deliverance that He has promised for the elect. All right, and the strength. All right, to endure to the end. It's spiritual.
Yeah.
Now we, brothers, we taking care of ourselves. We're doing the things that we need to do, right, on a daily basis to put ourselves, in a good spot.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's all spiritual. You could have the best bug out bag, because that's the thing too. Like, I know you've seen a thing brothers been talking about now is the IUIC bug out bags that they're selling for like $100 or whatever, or a couple $100. I don't remember the exact price point. Right, but that shows you right there. Just because you got a bug out bag, just because you got a bunker, just because you got some dogs in the back, right, and some security measures at the crib, that's not going to save you. Only how Bashem Al-Shai is going to save you. And the situation in Egypt proves that as well. Because you had to put that blood on your doorpost.
Yep.
If you didn't put that blood on your doorpost, your ass was grass. You got something?
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 9, it says, "They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he has care unto his he has care for his chosen or for his elect."
Mm-hmm.
Because anything that you do physically in this world, I mean, that's not going to profit you. All right, the only thing that's going to profit you is having that intimate relationship with Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, and that's what we see as we walk through Babylon the Great, or the valley, how you get the valley of destruction, going into the valley of destruction,
right?
Because Jake ain't got it. You got that.
You're right. This is back in 2nd Ezra 15, but before I keep going in there, let me read real quick before I get too deep in the lesson. I want to read the definition of self-sabotage real quick. All right, because one of the terms that, the elders on down have been using the last few years is a controlled demolition. Yeah. Which is what we see happening to America, but also to the global, this whole system that Esau had put in place, right? The petrodollar system, globalization, XYZ 1, 2, 3. Esau is basically systematically breaking this down so that he can come with the NWO. Yeah. Which the MOTB. But the MOTB system. And now what's beautiful is brothers is doing lessons now, and Lord willing, maybe I'll do one going into the Greater Israel Project. Ooh. Because now it's lining up through the spirit how the Greater Israel Project is going to be basically kind of like the spearhead, the head that unlocks, all these systems, the MOTB system. Because with the destruction of the Middle East, there's gonna be some type of, we'll see what happens. Right? We'll see what happens. But we know that the MOTB has to come before we can be before the Lord wraps this thing up. This is the definition. I just went on the AI and I typed in definition of self-sabotage, and now I'm going to find Cyberattacks too. It says self-sabotage is when a person's own thoughts, emotions, or behaviors repeatedly interfere with their goals, well-being, or success, often in ways that are unconscious or not fully intended. All right. Now, when you get other definitions on self-sabotage, it tells you that it could be unconscious, which means you don't know that you're doing it, which we know that is happening. Obadiah 1, it says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Let's get that real quick, right? Because most of these people are under the impression that Esau Edom, the so-called white man, that everything he does, every plan that he makes is just perfect and it's going to go exactly according to plan, right? And, he's the white man, right? But really, through the Spirit, when you really observe what he's doing through the Holy Spirit, you can see that Esau is bugged the hell out.
Yep.
And he's moving sloppy.
Ooh.
He's moving very, very, very sloppy. And really, anybody with two spiritual, brain cells rubbing together can see that this is gonna backfire. This is gonna blow up in his face. Okay, I'm gonna read this in Obadiah 1 and 3 real quick, and then whatever you got, brother.
Okay.
It says, "The pride of thine heart." I'm gonna read verse 2. Mm-hmm. Obadiah 1 and 2. It says, "Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen; thou art greatly despised." And that's happening on a big, big, big scale. These small hats, especially these Amalekites, all right, people are starting to basically talk more and more shit about the small hats on a daily basis. So much information has come out, which is also a part of the self-sabotage.
Yep.
What is the scripture? Their tongue shall fall upon themselves.
Psalm 64 and 8.
Yeah, I feel like I need to get that too.
Psalm 64 and 8.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why it's being shown that they are the wicked. That's that same thing in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
Because Yahweh Shemiah Shai has put the scope on them.
Yeah.
All right, that's that Inquisition in Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. But Salaki.
You good, bro. It says Psalm 64 and 8. It says, "So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away."
Now that's talking about these Edomites over here in Babylon the Great,
Mm-hmm.
Because they're seeing those small caps for who they are.
Yeah.
Jake is seeing it for who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And the world in a whole, is coming up against them.
Yep. Yep. And then too, you have these different controlled opposition agents that are in the media, like Alex Jones, for example. But he's not the only one. You got the Bex, you got the Redacted. Really, all these niggas with major platforms on YouTube, because the algorithm's rigged.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know, you know what I'm saying? If the algorithm was true, the elders and apostles would have hundreds of thousands of subscribers at the least.
Yeah, and then on top of that, the videos wouldn't get deleted.
Right.
And on top of that, their channels would be put back. All of them be put back up.
Yeah. Because
the world has cut it off and put one people above another. But you got it.
Yep. I'm gonna read this again. Psalm 64 and 8. It says, "So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall fall away." Right. So Esau, he's given us these controlled opposition talking heads, right, that have been bringing out information piece by piece over the last few decades. All right. But now what it's done is it's basically even the average Joe Smo now understands that the rulers of the earth are demons.
Yep.
They're demonic, and what it's doing is it's going to lead to, it already has led to Egyptian versus Egyptian. It's going to lead to civil war.
Yep. And that's the next step for over here in Babylon the Great.
Right.
All right. But in the world as a whole, it's going to be a civil war in the midst of World War III.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna finish. Can I finish this real quick on Obadiah?
You got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish this real quick. This is Obadiah 1 and 3, right? Because this plan sucks. Mm-hmm. This plan sucks, man. It's not a good. It's not a good plan. All right, but it shows you that the power of Yahweh Shemiah Shai. He's the one keeping this thing going.
Yep.
It's all the Lord orchestrating this through the Spirit, man. This is Obadiah 1 and 3. It says, "The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And if you don't know who that's talking, I mean, this is obviously talking about Eve, but just go watch one of Trump's, go watch a clip of Trump, man, talking in the last 2 weeks. If this scripture right here don't describe that, then we don't know what to tell you guys. You know?
I got a precept to that. And my phone was down, but you can pull it. It's Wisdom of Solomon 3:10. You know, because that goes right into it. Because Babylon the Great or America is his brainchild that he wanted to create back in the ancient day. All right.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 3:10. It says, "But the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations,
yep,
which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord."
So this is his imagination. This is his dream. All right, being in Babylon the Great, having rulership over the whole planet Earth. You know, he has thought about this since ancient days. All right, because he forsake Yahweh Shemi Shai, you know, and the righteous, which was Jacob, who got the blessing. All right, and Baba Shai, could you? He forsake Yahweh by Shemi Shai. He forsake Jacob, and now he's still trying to do his own thing, you know, inside of Babylon, but not just there, but all around the world.
Yeah.
What you got?
Nah, this links up with Genesis 25
yeah.
When Esau sold the birthright.
25, 27.
And I kind of want to get that because that ties into the self-sabotage thing.
Yep.
When Esau did that, that was self-sabotage. That was him screwing himself.
Yeah.
That's what that was. And it was set up through the spirit for it to go that way. You know, I gotta get it real quick. Because this chapter right here, this is the humble beginnings. This is like when you go to the movies and you watch a movie like you'll watch Batman,
the prequel.
Right, but like the scene where his parents die, like that's what sets the stage like for the rest of his like journey.
Yeah.
This Genesis 25 is like one of those chapters. Like you gotta read this chapter to understand where we at now, because it's the same spirits. It's the same spirits. This is Genesis 25, and I'm going to start at verse 29. It says, "And Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint." Right? He was tired. He was hungry. He wanted to eat. Verse 30, it says, "And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint." Right? Because what Jacob was preparing, the pottage, it wasn't cooked all the way.
Yeah,
he wasn't ready to eat.
He wanted that quick, you know, microwave, you know, pop it in the microwave real quick.
Right.
So I can hurry up and eat.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
It's
kind of like this situation with the end of like when in Job 20, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall bring him straight when he's about to fill his belly. Like what Esau has prepared right now, this whole scheme, this shit ain't ready. It's not even.
Nope.
He's rushing. He's forcing it.
He forced it. He forced the course of a river. All right, and you can't force the course of a river. You can't tell a river to move.
He's forcing the hell out of this.
Yeah,
and it's getting ready to blow up
in his face.
And we, man, call halal, man.
Call halal,
because you knuckleheads, y'all really believe that Esau is gonna win. Y'all believe you niggas outside of this truth, 2/3, even Israelites in the truth.
Yeah.
Y'all think Esau is gonna stay in rulership.
He can't.
You know?
The regular average Edomite or American, they think, oh, we can just go around the planet Earth and just bombing whoever we want because we're that power. Well, that power has a time to fall. Mm-hmm. And we're in the midst of it. And we see it. But you got it.
Yep. Genesis 25 and 30, it says, "And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore his name was called Edom, which that word is
Aisha.
Adawam, I want to say right there, which means red.
Yeah.
Let me get that real quick just to make sure. Right. Or yeah, Ha'adama or Adawam. It says red, right? But we know Esau means wasted away is he,
Wasted away is he.
which is what he's doing.
Yep.
Wasted away, worse and worse. You know what I'm saying? Just look at Trump. Look how he's aged.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, every president ages rapidly in office.
Yeah.
Right. But Trump, come on now, he's an 80-year-old man.
That nigga's melted.
I mean, come on now. I mean, how about Shemiel Ashai put the right man in place to get this shit started?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. This is Genesis 25 and 31 and 32. It says, and Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me?
So he was famished.
Yep.
Oh my God. I gotta wait 5 more minutes? What you mean? Just give me what you got.
Yep. It says, you had something?
No, I'll put it Hebrews.
You get that. I'll read verse 33. It says, and Jacob said, swear to me this day, and he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright to Jacob. So right here, this is self. That's what that is. That's self-sabotage, man. That's Esau being a carnal demon. All right. And not wanting to partake in the inheritance that was coming from Abraham and Isaac. You know, that agreement, that covenant that was made, you know, that came with basically eternal rulership and immortality. He didn't see a value in that. He didn't see a value in that until he ain't have it no more.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you read down in this chapter, or you read in Genesis 27, when Jacob actually got the birthright. You know, because in Genesis 25, he sold the birthright, but that still had to be confirmed by Isaac, which is why when you jump to chapter 27, right, in Sirach 3, it talks about how the father confirms, has authority over the house.
Yep.
You know, so when you read Genesis 27, okay, the birthright, that transaction, so to speak, had to be stamped by the Father, and through the Spirit it was stamped from the heavens, you know, from Yahweh Shem Shah. Okay, but let me go back. I think that was all I wanted in Obadiah 1 and 3.
Can I pull this Hebrews 12 and 16?
Yeah, you got it.
This is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. It says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Just to pull to go in on the point that was made in that Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
He sold his birthright because he was famished.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that shows us that we have to be more in a proper mindset, you know, not to cave in whenever shit gets hard, just a little hard.
Mm-hmm.
But you got it.
Yep, I'm gonna read some of this article real quick. We're gonna fast forward to now. All right, because now with this Iran situation, it's clear that we're very close to the establishment of the MOTB, because this is getting ready to wreck the global economy. This is going to wreck the global economy, but it's also going to allow Esau to take this police state to another level. You know, which is going to lead to the detention centers that that brothers been prophesying about, right? The internment camps, the FEMA, like all the camps. You know what I'm saying? You know, brothers being, you know, second Ezra, the 16th chapter, starting out about the 70th verse, going down, right?
Coming to your house.
Yeah. So I mean, the play is crystal clear. You know what I mean? Like if you're a football fan, if you down, right? If you're 80 yards away from the end zone, right, and there's 2 seconds left on the clock, there's only one play you can run. You can only run a Hail Mary. There's no other play you can run to score a touchdown.
And what's a Hail Mary? A last ditch effort.
Exactly. Desperation.
You know,
and that's what somebody does when they've self-sabotaged. Like this is some bullshit. But it's a beautiful work. It's a beautiful work from you. How about Shimei Shah? You have anything you want to add?
Well, just to say, our last ditch effort is really our first effort. That we have to go back to get How about Shimei Shah. All right, that's how we are going to be delivered out of this. All right, and that's why the doors of repentance, they could be closed. I mean, because the way that everything is playing out on the planet Earth is the Most High just about to sew everything up. It's like a surgeon. He fixed all the stuff that was broken. But he about to close it up to make sure that the body can live. But you got it.
Con, let me get this article. Also, I'm gonna hold this on deck. It's in Jeremiah 51.
Jeremiah 51.
Where it goes into the strangers.
Yep.
Fanners.
Oh.
I'm gonna get Jeremiah 51 until here.
Those other nations.
Yeah. So this is on newsnationnow.com. I'm gonna read a little bit of it. I might link it in the chat. I'm not gonna read the whole article, but I just want to get a couple of points. It says Iran had a surprise drone attack planned for California. FBI alert.
Ooh.
Right? FBI alert. Okay.
Huh.
It says the FBI warned California law enforcement agencies that Iran was poised to retaliate for potential U.S. attacks with drones off the West Coast, according to an alert obtained by News Nation. Now, you really got to sit back and think about this.
Damn.
If the United States knew they were going to go to war with Iran for years, because this is not a new
thing.
It's not a new thing. If if they knew they was going to go to war, right? Why the hell would you let a whole bunch of Iranian military-age males, along with other nations, into the borders years following, man?
Well, that's that Ezekiel 38. Woe to the unwalled villages.
Boom.
Yep. Because America, it is a big ass village or a town, but yet they don't have any defense,
open border
for the people. Because the people are what we call extendable or expendable. All right, because they don't see you as anything of worth. All right, and that also makes me think of I thought Iran was putting a division between the American oligarch and the American people, but that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. They're going to put everybody in the same pot. All right, and call the Abashimil shot for it. America needs to be touched. She's not this comely, delicate woman. But you got it. I want to go on tangent.
Yeah, this place is about to get touched.
Yeah.
If you can't see that America is about to take a fat L, then you're just living in delusion. You even have top ranking military analysts got experience telling you that the situation in Iran is a shit show.
Yep, Scott Ritter.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So let me keep reading some of it says we recently acquired information. I think I read a little bit of this already, but I'll read it again. It says we recently acquired information that as early February 26, allegedly aspired to conduct a surprise attack using unmanned aerial vehicles, drones, from an unidentified vessel off the coast of the United States homeland, specifically against unspecified targets in California in the event that the U.S. conducted strikes against Iran. All right, so, okay, I mean, war, like, War. America's getting ready to be touched, man.
Yep.
And we've been telling y'all this
For years.
For years.
I mean, through the elders and apostles of GMS.
Yep.
We that's one thing that we have been on it. You know, the economic upheaval, you know, all this shit's about to hit. Ever since they made that deal with Qatar to put a base in Wyoming or Idaho, you know, that's still going through. Then you have that board of peace over that thing that Trump is doing over there in what's that?
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Going to the board of peace over there in the land of Palestine. That Trump is doing, you know, all this is tying in for the MOTB system to be in its full effect whenever the economic system falls around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Hyperinflation. The elder and apostles have been talking about that for years.
Yeah, and that's why I want to get this next article going into the cyber attack.
Ooh,
because we're gonna get that precept in 2 Ezra 15 as well. So yeah, that's all I wanted on this drone situation. And let's read this next article. This is NBC News. It says Iran appears to have conducted a significant cyber attack against a U.S. company, a first since the war started. All right, so here we go. And I want to get a scripture real quick in Isaiah 9.
okay.
The apostle had made this point at a camp recently. You know, amongst other brothers as well, right? World War III, this war that we're getting ready to see play out is going to be different.
Yep.
It's going to be highly tech. It's going to be a lot of high tech, different, you know, different means. It's not going to be
Boots on the ground.
right,
You know?
right off the rip, or you know, it's going to be layered.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Multi-layered.
Like Jake be playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Modern warfare. You know, this war is going to be modern warfare. So this drone warfare, the satellites, the different radar systems that can see through walls and see through urban warfare. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is not going to be your regular situation. You know, this is Isaiah chapter 9 and 5. It says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise." All right, and that's because the swords clanking and screaming,
and
dust cloud, blood splattering. Right, it's still gonna be people dying. Right, it's still gonna be bloody. It's still gonna be people getting jacked up. All right, but the technology is different.
Yep.
You know,
it's not sticks and stones.
Right.
All right. It's gunfire. Strategic strikes.
Missiles. Yep.
Yeah.
Missiles. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Remember the situation in Venezuela? They were talking about the sound.
Yeah.
Weapons.
And those sound weapons. Hey, there's a couple over here in the U.S.
100%.
I seen a couple recently. So through the spirit, how about Shemir Al-Shai? He's going to use that same weaponry that he used over there because there was a test run for it. They didn't really pull it out, to fuck with it to see what it can do. That was a test run. Now they know what it can do, and they're going to use that over here during like a protest or a riot. Yahweh Shemir Al-Shai is allowing them to go into their armory for him to go into his armory. Mm-hmm. You got it.
Yep, I saw an article today going into how, or I don't know, it was an article, it was a YouTube video, I forget what channel, and it was talking about how Trump is now saying that they're going to start using higher tech, in this Iran situation, which proves that they're getting effed up right now.
Yep.
If you got to go deeper in the bag, that means what you took out so far ain't working.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And then the money system, because they're using high expensive missiles
Mm-hmm.
to destroy, shit that's not worth anything.
Unprofitable.
So he's not profitable to himself or to whatever is going on in that fight right now.
Yep.
But you got it.
Yep. I'm gonna read some of this. I'm not gonna read all of it, but get some points. It says Iran appears to have conducted a significant cyber attack against the U.S. company first since the war started. The company Stryker said a cyber attack disrupted its Microsoft environment.
Mm.
All right, and we know what Microsoft is, right? Just break the word down. Micro, right, and then soft. That's an MOTB. That's a NWO.
Yeah.
Big dog. You know, Google, these big tech giants. All right, they are highly invested in the MOTB.
Yep.
You know,
especially Microsoft.
You know,
Bill Gates.
Yep.
You got it.
This is because like the micro C hip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it says an Iran-linked hacker group has claimed responsibility for a cyber attack on a medical tech company in what appears to be the first significant instance of an Iran's hacking an American company since the start of the war between the countries. Okay, so obviously this isn't the first cyber attack, you know what I'm saying? But it is the first cyber attack in relation to this current development over here in Iran. And the Lord has given signs. The Lord has shown over the last few years. We had multiple bank failures, bank cyber attacks. All right, and this is the beauty of it. Their Lord has shown so many signs. You people are going to be there's not going to be shit you people going to have to be able to say,
but they're going to be caught unaware.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. Lord has been gracious. Lord has been merciful, long suffering, man.
Yep. He has extended the hand, but you pushed it away.
Yep.
You know, and because of that shows who you were.
Yep.
You know, so the Most High is gonna get busy, and you're gonna be on that list.
Yep. That's that Proverbs 1.
Yep. You got it.
It says the company Stryker, which is headquartered in Michigan, produces a range of medical equipment and technology.
Mm.
Right? So this just happens to be a medical technology company.
This happens to be.
Right? It says historically, Iran has conducted some of the most infamous wiper cyber attacks on national enemies, aiming to simply erase all data on computers' networks.
Mm.
Okay?
Send their ass back to analog.
Right? So I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm going to read this precept real quick. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 10, right? Because when you read about going back to ancient Egypt, when the Lord smit Egypt with plagues, the Lord was hitting the Nile.
Yeah.
The first plague was the Lord turning the water into blood. Okay? And when you go into the Nile River and its significance to the ancient Egyptian empire, it was the lifeline of their economy.
Yep. Because trade and everything was happening on that Nile.
Yep.
Food. People could eat,
travel.
But then they started using it as a toilet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, just like here in Babylon the Great. Unless you don't get it.
Well, I don't know.
The version of the Nile over here in Babylon the Great is the Mississippi River.
Yep.
Okay, that river was used for trade. All right, that was used for trade. That was used for the food that was in it. The fish, and that was also used for drinking water. But now
irrigation.
Yep. But now that these companies are dumping all their waste into the Mississippi River, and then the mouth of the Mississippi River empties out into the Gulf of Mexico. Well, that has destroyed that whole ecosystem.
Gulf of America.
Oh,
no, I'm messing with you.
Jake. Yeah. But yeah, so all that is a dead zone. you know, and it's just like the same thing over there in the Hudson River, or there's a river in New York that they have, really messed up, and there's a company that's trying to drop nuclear waste in it. So it's gonna mess up the whole. It's gonna be a shit show. But you got it.
Con.
I don't want to get too far off your point.
I'm gonna read this 2 Ezra 15 and verse 12 and 13.
You got it.
Oh, actually, no. I gotta read 11. It says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm," meaning that, like it says in Isaiah 65, "My servant shall eat."
Yep.
Right. My servant shall drink. But you guys, you Negroes, y'all are gonna be through.
Yeah, you're gonna be through.
All right. The Lord is gonna sustain the men who He's with. All right, and their respective families.
Everybody else catches the L.
Everybody else is catching the L, man. It says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof." Right? So like the Lord, like we went into the Nile, fast forward to now, yes, you do have the Mississippi River, but what's an even more important waterway, so to speak, than the Mississippi River is the internet.
Yep.
The internet is a virtual
river.
Waterway. That's why brothers got YouTube channels, right? They got streams. You stream. You got a live stream, right? You got banks, right? Like a river bank.
Yep.
So the monetary system, the internet, that's the cyber attacks are going to be targeting those things, and those things are going to affect everything else. Like the brother's saying, the food systems, right? Food manufacturing, even the energy.
Yep, the energy.
You know what I mean? Everything is getting ready to be affected in an instant. As soon as Yahweh Shemel Shah give the green light for us to hit this next phase, all it's going to take is one event, one particular, one particular situation, right? Even one particular situation.
That's going to cause ripples, and those ripples are messing with the oil. The oil, one of the lifelines here in Babylon the Great, is these trucks.
Yeah.
These trucks going from store to store and dropping off goods. So the fuel to actually keep these trucks pumping, that's being messed with. So it is going to have a famine-like scenario.
Yep.
It's like E has pressed the button to start his own downfall. Yep. But you got it.
Yep. I'll keep going on this, right? And I'm not going to get an article on it, but another thing that's in the news right now is the school shooting, the small hat church, Israel temple situation that's going on right now, right? Which is why I also put false flags in the title. This is a big operation that Esau's got going on, all right, to basically bring about the persecution, right, of the prophets, the persecution of anybody that is opposing this NWO system, all right. That's what we see.
Yeah. Just like that commercial that happened during the so-called Super Bowl that attacking these small hats. Mm-hmm. Now, and then I bet you got a black face on it too, huh?
Yeah.
So,
or the guy that stole. They also remember the guy that allegedly stole 2 drones from a U.S. military base.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, come on,
come on now. How can you do that? All that shit's chip.
Right.
You know exactly what that shit is.
Right.
But E is being what you call tacky. That's tacky as fuck, bro.
Here it is. Your AirPods can be tracked.
Yeah.
From fucking 100 miles out, you fucking trying to trace a nigga down in New Mexico for your AirPods. But a nigga could walk off a military base with 2 drones, right, and a ski mask.
Yeah. That's that YN shit,
This shit is fucking tacky, man. Like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
When they got all the way to the wizard and they saw the dog is the one that pulled the curtain open,
Yeah.
and it was just a silly old white dude.
That shows you that animal is smarter than you fucking Edomites. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, like you got it.
2 Ezra 15 and verse 12, it says, Egypt shall mourn,
Yep.
and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague, and the punishment that Yahweh Shemel Shai shall bring upon it. Now, that word foundation, I want to just make a point on that, because the foundation of something is the base, what everything else is built upon.
Yeah. And
in today's time, in 2026, the foundation of the way of life here in the West is the internet.
Yep.
It's the internet, man.
That's why John Warner Rockefeller said that we should never make the internet, all right, because all this information is coming out against them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And the internet is where shit comes together to be examined.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they didn't want that because now we are on your ass. Y'all about to know shots on your ass, bucko.
Yep.
But you got it.
Yep. That word foundation is a heavy word, you know, because it's multifaceted. Because like you could say the foundation of a nation too is the people.
Yep.
Right. But the family unit, which is there's no family units in America. Even we know now with Jake.
Not with Jake.
But even with these Edomites.
Yeah.
There's no family structures. Everything's broken.
Yeah, because of whenever they wanted the woman inside the jobs, you know, to bolster more money, that's when that family unit was destroyed, you know, in Esauville.
Yep.
But Jake, that shit been destroyed.
Yep. The monetary system.
Yep.
Like your money is not worth shit. It's losing its value rapidly.
Oh.
The petrodollar right now is being threatened due to this situation, right? Which lets you know that they knew all this shit was gonna fuck up.
But they wanted it to fuck up.
Exactly.
Because they're trying to put in a new system.
Exactly.
But you got that.
That's it right there. That's the point. Yep. It says, 2 Ezra 15 and 12, it says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague, and the punishment that God shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting of hail, and with a fearful consolation. Okay, and then too, like we talked about the other day, and do your own research, but 1/3 of the world's fertilizer comes through the Strait of Hormuz.
Yep.
And fertilizer is the type of thing that you have to order on time, in season. Like it's not a type of thing you can't just have 10 years worth of damn fertilizer just chilling in the fucking no. So that fertilizer, the ability to grow food and to grow crops, is getting ready to be impacted as well.
That's why they didn't want you to grow food at the beginning of this damn thing, bro. They systematically cut that out of life.
Yep.
To where you have to go to the store for the one of all things. You gotta go to E for the one of all things.
100%.
All right, because they're trying to say that if you have too much fertilizer, you can make a bomb.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, because I remember YouTube used to be well educated. Like you can go to YouTube, learn about anything. You know, now everything's censored.
Yep.
But you got it.
Yeah, this is 2 Ezra 15 and 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein."
Yep.
And it goes on the list. I'm not, I'll wrap it up there. But the next few verses it goes on the list. You know, the sword, like people destroying each other with the sword, sedition.
Yep.
Martial law, right? Verse 17, right? So we're at the door. This is where we're at.
Yep.
This is where we're at, man. And like the Lord said, the Lord didn't give us a spirit of fear, but of a sound mind, strength and a power and a sound mind. All right. So we see the prophecies. All right. Which seeing them alone is a blessing. From Yahweh Shemel Shai.
That's all Yahweh Shemel Shai.
You know, we see them, and through the Spirit, we fighting.
Yeah.
So hey, that's all I had. You have anything else, bro?
Nah, brother, you got it.
Well, Lord's willing, lesson was edifying with that. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors again to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that we're going to teach well. And shalom to the next lesson.
Shalom and shalom.